Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is Dana. I pronounced her name right. She is someone who meditates a lot. She's actually my coworker. We were talking off air, and she was talking about just spirituality, how meditation really helped her life. We were talking about like psychedelic drugs, and also about just plant medicine, and how there's certain people that just have meditated and able to cure stage 4 cancer just with meditation.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. So I think just we're super powerful, so we have the ability to heal ourselves, and a lot of people just don't access that. So
How do you think that works? Like, I know it has to happen on a subconscious level because I've
yeah,
read different books on this, and you can't do it on a conscious level because then if something happens, you just cure yourself like this.
yeah,
But like when you meditate, I know like the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the gap is bridged more and more. So if you want something, you can achieve it.
yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Um, I don't know. I think that like a lot of people just get into their head about it too. So disease is caused by like dis-ease, right? So if you're if you have a lot of like pain or if you have a lot of trauma, I think that that just causes a lot of things like cancer. But if you're able to just heal that, the mental and emotional part of it,
Mm-hmm.
it helps heal your body. So that's what I think. But I did have in plant medicine too. I think is really powerful. My dad actually had stage 4 cancer, and we found it was before marijuana was legal, but we did find him some cannabis that healed his cancer.
It healed this cancer. Weed healed
For
cancer.
yeah, so and he was a retired police officer. So, but
Really?
he agreed to do it. So we did some research and found a certain kind, and it got rid of his cancer for a year, and then we couldn't find the same stuff. So he ended up passing away. But
So it came back.
yeah, it came back really fast. But he had a really good year of high quality life, pain free, and the doctors were shocked. They didn't know how it went away. So
So do you think it was the marijuana that
I
actually
know it
helped him, or
was.
was the fact that the marijuana helped him chill out?
So it actually the when we did the research, it I don't know. I think it like suffocates the cells or something. So I don't know how it works actually, but I think it was the marijuana. I don't know. I don't know
It's
how it
I mean, I don't know
works.
how it works either, but I hear a lot of stories from different people.
Mm.
That's why I started this podcast because I'm just curious. Like, I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Um, Tell me something crazy that you've seen because you said you went to a plant medicine retreat
Mhm.
with some girl that has stage 4 cancer, and she was
Yeah.
able to just overcome that. And like when you have stage 4 cancer, that's already over the hump. That's it. You're dead in
Mhm.
6 months to a
Right.
year.
Yeah. So she had stage 4 cancer, and she was also paralyzed, and she just healed herself by meditation. She was in the hospital, and she stopped taking all the medicine that they gave her, and was eating clean and meditating.
She
So
stopped taking all the medicine they were giving her.
yeah, she was in the hospital, and she just refused to take it. So
They just kept like trying to drag you down her throat. She's like, I'm not taking this anymore,
yeah,
and she actually got better.
yeah, yeah. And the
Yeah,
doctor said she would be paralyzed forever, but she walked out of there. So I'm not sure how she did it, but I don't know. I know the
Dude,
mind is pretty powerful. So
very very powerful. I've seen people with stage 4 cancer at
yeah,
meditation retreats. I met them, and they were like, "Oh, I'm like, dude, this person's done."
yeah,
And I'm like, "How'd you get here?" He's like, "My brother had to bring me out of the airplane." And I talked to him 6 weeks later. No cancer, none,
it's
none.
amazing.
And this, like, when you hear stories like, yeah, you hear a lot of stories like, oh, it's cool, but when you see
Mm.
it with your own eyes,
Mhm.
and like you sit down and have lunch with this person, and like, this is my last, like, hurrah, and
Yeah,
I'm giving it 110%, I'm dying. And
yeah,
those are the people that really have like profound experiences. Cause like, yeah, I meditate. I want peace. I want money.
Mhm.
I want attraction. I want love. I want all these nice things.
Mhm.
But this person just wants one thing: health,
Yeah.
and their entire existence depends on them. So they're able to just give it 120% versus
Mhm.
me that just does it every day.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, it's amazing. I wish I knew more how it works. I'm still learning.
yeah, yeah.
It's a
But you
constant learning
meditate all the
process.
time, right?
Yeah,
Has it? How has it helped you?
my life just flows better when I'm meditating. So I just do better. I'm happier. I feel better. work goes well. Financially, I do better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything just flows when I'm
Everything just
meditating.
flows. It's
Yeah,
just things are easier.
yeah, I just feel more in sync with everything too. So,
Nice. Would you
hmm
say you're bringing those things to you? You're attracting them like the law of attraction or the law of vibration.
yeah, well, and I think too, I could connect with my higher self when I meditate, right? So I feel like everything is, um, like I don't know. I feel like there's if you can think it as a possibility that it can happen, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
different dimensions, and so when I'm connecting with myself when I meditate, then I don't know. I feel like I'm just more in tune, so that when something happens, I can deal with it more. So I know how.
You're not as emotional about it
Yeah,
or
I'm a little more.
illogical about it. Yeah.
And
You're
I'm
able,
more intuitive. I can.
you're more intuitive.
And I can sense.
Can you?
Yeah,
Can you
when I meditate, I'm more intuitive. So,
give me an example? Like, what do you mean more intuitive?
um, like I don't know. I guess I just trust my feelings more, and they're usually accurate and
Like a
correct. So,
Jedi.
yeah,
Trust your feelings. Well,
yeah, like
yeah,
psychic.
that's actually pretty true. I
Yeah.
mean, what they call it? Empath. Yeah,
Yeah, I
empath.
am.
Yeah. You're more intuitive to your feelings. That's awesome. Because a lot of times they're like, don't listen to your head. I mean, or don't listen to your heart. Just work hard in life. And then those people end up hating themselves. Yeah, they're like, listen to. I mean, most people now are like, listen to your heart.
Yeah,
Do what makes you
absolutely.
happy in life.
Yeah.
Like you'll be happier, even if you're like poor. Not poor, but like you're not making 200-300 grand a year. Versus the lawyer that's super successful but hates his job. That has to do it in day out.
Yeah. Well, one most happiest people are the ones that have like healthy relationships, right? And are poor. They don't have a lot of money, but they're like
That's
happy.
true.
So.
Well, me and you've both been to Peru, and we saw that.
Mhm.
Like when I was in Guatemala too, I saw that a lot.
Yeah.
Like people were, especially by Lake Atitlan. It's like the spiritual lake. It's kind of like Sedona of the like Central America.
Yeah.
So people were like in the kitchen. They're poor, you could tell, but they're like singing and
Yeah.
cooking and having such a great time, and like life was just like flowing through them.
I
And
love it down there because they
yeah,
have
of
such a good
course
outlook on life.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they don't really have much, but at least they have that. And like over here, like people are like stressed out,
Yeah, because we
working.
work so much and then we just like pay all these bills and.
Yeah, yeah. Um, do you think that causes people to get sick?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Uh, how do you think people could actually stop that or slow it down? Nah, why would you want to slow it down? Just stop it.
I don't know. I think just living in the moment, like instead of just like always looking at people, just want like whatever is going to come tomorrow. They're not like looking at today, right? So I think if they just slow down and enjoy like what's
The
going on
present
right
moment.
now.
The present
Yeah.
moment. That a lot of people have told me that.
Yeah.
That all you truly have in this world is this present moment.
Mm.
The past and the future, they connect in this present moment.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, just stay in the moment. And then there's something about like when you're meditating, you shouldn't think about the future. You shouldn't think about your past, because your past is like what kind of like shapes your future if you allow it.
Yeah.
But if you stay in the present moment, you just go into the unknown, and the unknown is where the magic happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you like studying this type of stuff,
I
like
love it.
metaphysical or mystical, but you also like the scientific aspect of it.
Yeah, I like the quantum physics side of it.
Give me some examples, like what have you learned about quantum physics, and like how is it proving the or has it demystifying the mystical?
Yeah, and it's so hard to explain too. Quantum physics, it's like really in depth, but it's it's just scientifically like studying how energy and matter works, right? So a lot of it is, I guess that's how people like when they talk about manifestation, it's quantum physics is how it works, right? So people just don't understand how it works. So I don't know. There's so many different aspects of it too, but
Give me something, I don't know, something that
oh
you
my
learned.
gosh, let me think.
Yeah,
Um,
I like the that we live in a simulation world.
mhm.
There's like evidence proving that. Some evidence. I mean, I don't know how real it is. I mean, I'm not that good at mathematics, but
Yeah.
I watch a lot of like videos and stuff, and like there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of people that are like deep meditators,
Mhm.
and they go into this place called gnosis or samadhi, as they say,
Oh yeah.
and that's like when you're going deep, or like you're able to see behind the veil, as they say.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, I mean, what's behind the veil? Like, why am I in the veil? You know, why can I not see behind the veil?
Mhm.
Why does psychedelic drugs or deep, deep transcendental meditation take me behind the veil? Like, what is it?
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know, and I'm still learning a lot about it. I don't know a lot about quantum
Yeah,
physics,
no
but
problem.
like sacred geometry too. Like I think that's amazing. That's like human nature and how everything works, right? So
Sacred, is that?
sacred geometry, like shapes, and yeah,
Yeah,
like
okay.
mhm.
Okay.
Like most flowers and stuff like that's like
Oh, how
geometry,
they have
like
a geometric shape to a
and
perfect.
the flower of life and things like that. Have you seen that?
No,
Okay, I'll have to show you.
I think I know where it blossoms. He was blossoming.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's like the Fibonacci sequence. So it's like all scientifically backed and there's like proof of it. But so I like it when there's proof of how energy works.
Okay.
Just because a lot of people are very pessimistic about it sometimes too. You know,
Yeah.
I think they're more open minded now, but
Now more. Oh, do you think more people are spiritual now than they were like 10, 15 years ago?
yeah,
They're
for
more open
sure.
to it at least.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that caused that?
I think that there's planetary shifts going on.
Yeah.
So,
COVID helped too.
yeah.
Well, people had to stop and think about their lives. Like, hey, where's my life going? You know, why is it
Mm-hmm.
going this way?
Yeah, I have a lot of like I've noticed it a lot with friends and family. They're very more spiritual
They
than.
are, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Like more
yeah,
power to them. You know, there's nothing wrong with it.
yeah. Whatever makes people better people
Um,
and makes them feel better about themselves and
wh-
healthier, happier.
what do you think being spiritual is? Like, cause people are like, oh, I'm very spiritual.
Mm-hmm. Um, I don't know. I think it is just having like a connection with like a soul connection to a higher source,
Hmm.
right? So whatever that is for people. Um,
Yeah, just having a
yeah,
connection. Yeah, that. Yeah, whatever your definition is.
yeah,
Okay, tell me about ayahuasca. You say you've done it a couple of times.
yeah. I've done it a few times, quite a few.
Like, did anything like that? Like, I'm sure that there's some like cool stuff happen. Like, you were
Mm.
gone. You just
Yeah.
for whoever's not watching, she just rolled her eyes like, oh yeah, you have no idea the trips I was on.
It's really the most amazing experience ever. And
Really?
yeah, you learn so much about yourself and you release so much too. So I've done quite a few. I did like 12 in the United States, and I don't know if I would work with a shaman again that's not in their like original country.
Okay.
Just because the shaman I feel like can only take you as far. I don't know. I feel like because it wasn't his like I don't know. I feel like people are born into it. So and he was, but I would just rather my experience in Peru was completely different from the ones I had in the US. So
Yeah.
I would go to somewhere like that
Oh, it
in
just
the
came back from
future.
there. I
Yeah.
didn't do it. They offered it to me numerous times. Like wherever I go, it's like they just hand it out to you.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I had some amazing experiences too. Like otherworldly experiences.
like tell me some stories. That's the stories I like.
S-
They're all like, hey, dude, trust me, people have heard some crazy things on my
okay.
podcast.
So
So
and
this is, by the way, this is her personal experience.
yeah, I was gonna say some of these are really personal and like a little bit hard to share, but I'll share some of them that are okay to share. But
Yeah.
like some of them, there was one night that so when we were in the jungle in Peru, and it's all you can hear is like the crickets and everything, the frogs and the outside. But I swear, like that, I could hear UFOs like the thing the
Y-
whole time. And then in my experience, it was
Okay, now I'm interested. What does a UFO sound like though?
it
Unidentified. Like, does it sound like a jet or like what do you mean?
no, it was like a whooshing sound, but I heard it the whole time, and but I knew it was UFOs because they were in my experience too.
Hmm.
But I heard their machine the whole time. So their UFO. I don't know. It was really intense, but I felt like in that experience, they were recalibrating some physical things in my body
You're
and
not the
healing
first
me.
person to tell me that.
Yeah, and they were like doing some really major healing on me, and I wasn't scared. It was very peaceful.
So
So
when you mean the UFO, could it be an interdimensional being?
yeah,
Yeah,
mm,
because I've heard that stories numerous times.
yeah,
But they're like these people are, yeah, they're on definitely on something. Well, one girl, she was just doing Kundalini breath. Do you know what that is?
um,
She was just gone, and she had
Mhm.
stage 3 cancer, and it was going to her throat.
Mhm.
And she spent all her money, and she went to a meditation retreat. And she's like, "Okay, here we go."
Mhm.
And she had a full blown Kundalini awakening, and
Nice.
it completely helped her.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, like her throat cancer went away.
Yeah.
And she's like, I mean, I told her off air. I'm not gonna name her, but
Mhm.
she's like, yeah, she's like, I just blasted off, and I went to some place, and like I was just laying down, and these
Mhm.
people were just working on me.
Yeah, that's what I felt too. Like I felt like I was on an operating table, and they
Yeah,
were
like
just.
that.
Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it, but they were just recalibrating my body is how I
Yeah,
felt. So
I mean, but how do you mimic that? How do you quantify it? How do you put it in the laboratory and study experiences like that?
you can't.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't.
Oh, maybe you can. I don't
I
know.
mean, I'm not saying okay, maybe your personal experience, but here's
Yeah.
what people do: they get neurofeedback machines,
Mm.
and they have those Kundalini reps, or they have people do ayahuasca and they see what happens to their brainwaves
Okay. Yeah.
and what's happening. But where there are consciously, yeah, I mean, I don't know
Mm.
how you don't figure that out. You know, you're not gonna plug them into a computer.
Right.
So that's super interesting.
It is very
But here's
interesting.
the thing: when numerous people like you and that girl that I met at a meditation retreat tell me the same stories, and I
Mhm.
met some other people that told me some stories, like, hey, dude, like you guys don't know each other,
Yeah.
different parts of the world. Like there's something there. I cannot put my finger on it.
Yeah.
That's why I started the podcast. Just
Yeah.
I'll put my finger on it sooner or later. But here's the thing: every time I feel like I get closer to the answer, someone
Mhm.
changes the question.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
Little
interesting.
spin on it.
Throwing a little spin on it.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that says I know all the answers is complete
Oh,
bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're always learning and
You're
things are
always learning.
changing.
Yeah.
So.
The metaphysical.
Mhm.
And so now that you meditate, can you go to these, I don't know what you call them, vibrational states,
Mhm.
unconscious states, on changing your brain waves?
Yeah. I can get myself to that same state of mind pretty easily,
Really?
just with meditation. So.
Just going back to that same state of mind.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, I know it's nice. I like it because, um, yeah, I can just tune everything out and just, I do have to be careful. There was a time in my life where I was meditating so much, and I felt like I was using it as a form of escape,
Hmm.
and so like I had to like dial it down a little bit.
That's what I just did too.
Mhm.
The past couple of weeks, because I was listening to some podcasts, and like high flight meditation for me started becoming a chore.
Mm.
And they're like, no, 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 don't let it become a chore. Even though sometimes I was able to get some really good meditations,
Yeah.
it did become a chore.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, maybe before the meditation, what you should do is just sit down and just like brainstorm. Why am I meditating? What do
Mhm.
I want out of this meditation? What is my intention? And I legitimately give it 5 minutes
Yeah.
before you jump in. Like me, I was just doing 2 hours a day. I'm like, I don't try to do 2 hours a day. Like I mean, some of it was very useful. Some of it
Mhm.
was not. So I dialed it down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I had an experience once I was meditating outside my house, and I don't know how long I was out there, an hour or something, and my son was trying to talk to me, and I was like just out there, and
Did you have headphones on?
no, it was silent, and then he like touched me on my shoulder, and it brought me, I could feel myself drop back down into my body, and it was
Really?
super, super scary. I didn't like it. And so, but he had been trying to get my attention for a while, so I was like,
He was like, Mom, Mom,
mhm.
Mom, come back.
Yeah. So I after that I was like, okay, I need to like that's when I dialed it back
No,
a
you
little
should go
bit.
further. You
Well,
should go
except
deeper. Like maybe not like outside. Like I always do it in my room
mhm.
because I don't want to be outside and something
Yeah.
like that could happen.
Yeah, I know. And I can go pretty deep when I meditate, but I just need to make sure that I'm still there like
Are you always there though when you meditate, or like do you remember? Because sometimes I meditate, I'm like, what happened to the past hour?
yeah.
Like where
Oh,
was I? What happened?
yeah, I do that all the time.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but sometimes I meditate where I'm completely there the whole time,
mhm. Yeah,
and that's sometimes I've had some good. I don't want to say trips, but like good
experiences.
meditation, good experiences,
Mhm.
thoughts, reflections.
Yeah.
Um, so what else? Tell me some cool stuff. I
Um,
feel like you're holding back something.
am I?
Not holding back, but like
Well,
you're trying to think about
yeah.
different things and try to rationalize with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just love I love like the shaman part of energy too. Like I love shamans. I
Do
love
you? What is it about shamans
um
though? It's
I
just another word for like a practitioner.
no, I guess I like the more natural, like earthy type of
Yeah,
energy.
yeah. Well, I feel like because it's passed down from family, ancestor to ancestor.
Mm.
Like being in shaman school, it's just like being from Peru
Yeah,
or South America. You could even be from Central America.
yeah,
But my shaman friend, he even told me that it's just a title at the end of the day. Like you're really helping people.
right.
But here's the thing. Me and you have been introduced to this stuff later in life.
Mhm,
So we have a whole set of mindsets
mhm,
and certain beliefs that people drag down our throats that aren't really true.
right.
But I mean, it's true to us because we believe it. But these people were born like, oh, there's energy, this, that. So they're for them, it's just normal.
Mhm,
So they don't really have a barrier they have to break through.
right.
So it makes it easy for them. And like the people that actually want to become shamans, that's awesome because like they can help people
Yeah,
and they can make good money too doing it. I don't
yeah,
see a problem with that.
yeah. No, I agree. So,
I've seen a lot of people when I was in Peru, they just came down there. I think like 80% were there just to have fun.
oh yeah.
Which I don't really, I'm kind of against it, but like a good 15-20% like generally needed it. And
Mhm,
I talked to some of them afterwards, like, dude, like I feel better. I'm like, how better is a night and day difference?
mhm.
They didn't want to do the podcast, but they're just like, I just feel so much better. Like I just feel like this burden has been lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah, ayahuasca is like a very powerful plant medicine, and it's very cleansing and like I don't even know how to explain it. When I think about it, like it's very like sacred to
Sacred.
me.
Do you think everyone should do it?
No,
No, like only if you.
I don't think everybody can handle it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you have to be a certain mindset. When I was on my in Peru, there was a one person in particular, well, a couple people that one girl had,
Psychosis.
yeah.
Psychosis or
Well,
like
she had a
panic attack.
not a split personality. Yeah, she had a split
Like
personality.
multiple
So,
person disorder.
and so
Before
she,
she jumped in,
yeah,
did they know?
yeah,
And they just let her do it anyways.
yeah. They were trying to help her through it, I suppose. So,
They're trying to what?
help her through it and get rid of it, but it was not a good situation. So,
Dude, what happened with that? So someone that has multiple personality disorder
hmm
does ayahuasca, trips out. Which personality trips out? Which doesn't?
they both were he was there with her. Like she would sit there and talk to him during the ceremonies and
Talk
stuff.
to
It was
who?
really interesting, and yeah,
Wait, it was a girl,
it was a
and
girl,
there
and
was a
she,
guy personality in the girl,
yeah,
and they were just talking to each other.
yeah. I mean, she talked to him the whole time. She'd just start laughing because, yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's cool, but
it was
did she like
interesting.
trip out though? Like start yelling, going crazy?
No, no, it
Or she was
wasn't
just on?
like that.
Oh, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that. But I don't think that everybody should do it if they have things like that going on. I don't know. Maybe
And then
it
what
was
happened
helpful
with
for her.
the personalities? Like afterwards, did
It
one of
just
them go away?
No, it didn't. She was hoping it would, but it kind of seemed like it was more persistent. So, but I don't know. But
Dude,
yeah, I don't think everybody should do it.
yeah.
So,
Well, the people kept telling me, "Oh, you should do it. You should do it," and people were just offering it to me. I'm like, "Dude, I don't really need this stuff.
yeah.
I don't see a purpose."
Yeah, and I don't think that everybody needs to either if you can get to those spaces too without it. So,
I mean, not that like I feel like it's sacred.
it
Like,
is sacred.
yeah,
It's
but
very
like I
sacred.
feel like I'm not really hurting. I don't have problems. Like my
Mhm.
parents didn't abuse me that much when I was a kid. Like slapped me around a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, like didn't traumatize me.
Yeah.
But like there's people that really have deep rooted problems, and I feel like
Yeah.
those people that can't really do that, or like people that have like post traumatic stress disorder from war, they're gonna just
Mhm.
tell them to meditate for hours. And it's not happening.
Mhm.
Those people really need it.
Yeah.
Just a nice jolt to their
Yeah.
psyche.
I think like when I did mine and the medicine woman, like, 'cause being a female and I've different experiences in my past with like sexual abuse and stuff like that, but she really worked on my like womb area, and so I felt that like it felt really cleansing, and like I could tell that she was getting rid of like all of the like yucky stuff that was there. It was
Uh,
it was really beneficial.
Do you feel a difference between like when you started it and then afterwards, but like before you started,
Mhm.
like psychologically, physically, both,
Both. Yeah.
spiritually?
Spiritually, yeah, everything. It just kind of helps in all those areas. So, and I think it kind of depends on where you're at too and your intentions going in, what you're working on too. Like you have to do the work, like, so it's not just like a magic medicine. I mean, it is because you're like, you know, you purge and get rid of a lot of like stuff, but it's crazy because you don't eat anything and then you take the medicine and you're like purging
You're just throwing
like
up.
black
You're just throwing
gross
up.
stuff, yeah. And it's like deep rooted stuff though, but it's an energetic healing.
Really
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I don't
It
know.
is
People
really
keep telling me
interesting.
to do it. I'm like, dude, I don't. It's not
Yeah,
for me. I feel like people that really. I'm telling you, when people are in pain, they should do it.
yeah.
But I feel like now it's like become like Coachella. It's so
Mm.
cool to go to Peru and do ayahuasca. Like it's like the thing to do.
Yeah, a lot of the spiritual things has just gotten kind of trendy too.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, but I just do my own thing just for my own personal growth too.
Yeah, as you
Like,
should.
we don't advertise it or anything. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you like met different people that have done it and then like they've had like crazy experiences?
Ayahuasca?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody that does it.
Everybody that does it. Have you had
Pretty
people that
much.
did it like, oh, this didn't help me?
Yeah.
That's happened too. So it's like a
But
wide
I think
spectrum.
it's your mindset too. Like, if you have the intentions going in, or if you're like blocking it, and if you're like fighting it, you kind of have to surrender to it and let it do what it's supposed to do. But if you're trying to control it or make it do, I don't know, you have to surrender to it. But that's the same with all energy work.
And surrender to it, or
Mhm.
like trust the universe.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
about that, that's interesting.
yeah.
What else have you studied? That's interesting. That pops out to you.
Um, a lot, like a lot of crystal healing, Reiki.
Oh yeah, did you do Reiki for me last night? The other night?
The other night, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Mhm.
Oh,
Did some
nice. Thank you.
distance Reiki. Yeah, you're welcome.
That's actually proven to work.
Mhm.
There's science behind it, like legit science.
Yeah.
They call it. I mean, some people call it coherence healing because Reiki is like I don't know. Like, they don't want to be spiritual. They want to be like keep it practical. It's the
Mhm.
same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you just like use your energy to actually heal people.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm actually just holding space for them so that they can heal themselves.
That's what
So,
shamans do too.
yeah.
Yeah. One thing I've been doing more and more. Sometimes I forget though. Is like I bless my own food before I eat it.
Yeah.
Like I put intention on it. Like this food, I'm just gonna eat it, and it's gonna
Mhm.
be amazing. And I'm just gonna get all the nutrients out of it, and there's no bugs or no like bad things in here.
Mhm. I do that when even if I have to take like a prescription or something, I'll
Yeah.
bless it first or
Yeah,
something
as you
before.
should. I mean, priests do it all the time.
Mhm.
People I've noticed in my culture, I'm Armenian, so like they drink a lot, but
Mhm.
they always get up like at family events and they have like a shot in their hand, and everybody else has a shot. I
Mhm.
stopped drinking, but it's the intention. Like I've noticed, like they just set an intention, like, oh, I just want to drink this for whose house we've gathered in. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your home.
Yeah.
May days like this be your bad days, and they just drink. They're just literally blessing it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that is awesome.
Mhm. I heard this story once. Well, it was in one of my courses that I was taking. But there's this in this area. There's this girl, and she had a near death experience. She was really young, and her dad. Anyway, so after she came back, like she could sense entities really bad. So they went to like. So she was always like, just calling out and like pointing them out to people. But they went to go eat at a restaurant once, and they brought the food out, and she was looking at it and she's like, don't eat the food, like it's like there's some bad like entities attached to that. And so then they asked like what was going on with the cook, and I guess he was having like a super bad day and like really negative. And but she was saying like the food that he had prepared and brought out to him had like all kinds of like
Yeah,
negative entities attached to it,
yeah.
which is kind of crazy.
That's why I don't like
So
hanging around with like pessimistic people,
yeah.
or they're always angry.
Mm.
Like I mean, we get those people over the phone,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I just don't like hanging out with those
Yeah,
people.
I don't either.
There's something about them. Like even people say like, oh, I didn't like that person's vibe when they went on a date. Like,
Mhm.
wouldn't you like you don't like their vibration? Like, were they
Mhm.
setting off a bad vibration? That's
Yeah.
literally what they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just I just can't put my finger on it. Then I talk to scientists all the time.
Mhm.
Half of them don't know what they're talking about, and they're like experts in their fields, this, that.
Right.
But the other half are pretty cool.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Cool stuff.
okay. Last note. I always ask people this question: what advice would you give people, like if they're in a rut or in a bad place? Because it sounds like you were at one point and you're able to get yourself out.
Yeah. I guess just I don't know. So my thing too when because I've been in, dealt with depression and stuff after I lost a child, and I've been in some bad places, but like when you're in that kind of a spot, it's like you just have to kind of, I don't know, raise your vibration just a little bit higher than you feel that day. Like I know it's hard, but if you, I don't know,
Like, how do
just
you raise your vibration? Like lift your mood?
well, I do it by meditation
Yeah,
or
I mean,
drums.
easy to do it. Any, I mean, easy to go under the sun.
But even if you're just feeling like super, super depressed, like even the slightest little bit of like positivity, like just try and make you like do something for yourself to make yourself feel a little bit better every day. And then eventually you'll like get out of it. But meditation for me is how I do that. So connecting with my higher self is how I do that. So
Okay,
I don't
good.
know.
All right.
So meditation. I
Definitely
like
meditating.
meditation. That's
I
what I
think
would
everyone should
recommend.
meditate.
I think so too.
They say everyone should meditate 20 minutes a day, unless
Mm.
you're really busy and have a busy, hectic life. Then you should be
Mhm.
meditating an hour a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that saying. Cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Right on. Thank you for jumping on my podcast. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, since you like this episode, don't subscribe, and we will definitely catch you next week. Thank you.